What if they're a Barbie character in Dungeons and Dragons? With all the hype over the new movie, I couldn't help thinking what Barbie would look like in Dungeons and Dragons. Now, on this channel, we've always said that content is everywhere, like ideas for your campaign are pretty much everywhere you look. So, Barbie? Let's talk about it. I came up with a few fun ideas for Barbie as an NPC. If you stay toward the end, I'll give you some ideas of how you can play Barbie as a character. I have to admit that I've played more than my share of Barbies as a kid. Now, in the 70s, it was a little unusual for a guy to play with Barbies. But I had a different situation. When I was really young, the only kid that I could play with in my neighborhood was a girl, and she had a rather large Barbie collection that her mom had actually had and given to her. I sometimes lay awake at night thinking about how much that collection must be worth today. Oh my gosh. She had the original side-eye Barbie and all the accessories and Ken and all that. But anyway, we had a deal that I would play Barbies with her if she would go ride bikes and climb trees with me. So I know a little bit about Barbie. So what about Barbie as an NPC? The players come across a dense, foggy area that clears as they travel and reveals a peculiar pink building. The building looks as if the walls were removed, and you can see the floors and stairs and partial rooms. Coming down the stairs as they approach is a beautiful woman with long blonde hair, dressed in a rather short hot pink dress and strange shoes that make her stand taller like she's on her tippy toes. Her figure is impossibly proportioned in the way that an artist might make a caricature of a woman. This makes her attractive and yet unnatural at the same time. She smiles and greets the party with a sing-song, pleasant voice. In their conversation there, they find out her name is Barbara, but her friends call her Barbie. She has supposedly had a lot of jobs in her life, which is clearly impossible, as she looks to be in her early to mid-20s. She's been a successful merchant, owning several stores, rode horses in competitions, been a physician, been to somewhere called the Moon, and was a world-famous bard. She is super excited to show off all her outfits that she wore in these different careers. Though she has done these things, she doesn't know any details about these professions. She doesn't know anything that has happened outside of the clearing where she lives, and doesn't know much of anything about the past, except her friends Skipper, Ken, and Karza, a nice old man with a long white beard, who visits her. The party may soon piece together that Karza is a lonely old wizard who created Barbie as a companion, but abandoned her because she didn't make him feel any less lonely, since she was so superficial. Any meaningful conversation was impossible. He hasn't visited her for weeks now, and it isn't clear if he will ever return, though Barbie seems to think he will. She isn't a reliable source of information, as she is insufferably positive and flits from subject to subject. Barbie could be an interesting playable character, as her unnatural beauty would make for some interesting roleplay, as well as her background and demeanor. She isn't necessarily low in intelligence, but isn't so sheltered she is naive to everything. For this reason, she doesn't have a lot of wisdom. Maybe she has a higher constitution due to her impossibly long legs, or maybe the opposite, as her internal organs are squished into this impossibly proportioned body. I think she is so drawn to outfits that she's a master of disguise, and she is kind of fun to be around with her can-do attitude and her extreme positivity. One thing that may be problematic for her is that the real world clashes so much with her artificial world she came from that she has moments where she is in shock by what she encounters. Maybe she curls up in a fetal position. I don't know, which is kind of how I am before I go to school each day as a teacher. Let me know in the comments what you think or how you might use Barbie in your world.
Class dismissed.